Good afternoon, boys and girls. This is Miss Katharine from the Frederickson Library. We're back once again for Craft Grab and Go. I missed you over the holidays. I hope you had a nice break if you had one. And I look forward to doing more Craft Grab and Go bags in 2021. Can you believe it's a new year? I'm glad to have a fresh start. I'm sure you are too. So let's make the most of it and let's have fun at our Craft Grab and Goes. So I want to go over, for those of you who are new, I want to just go over a few things that might be important for you to know about Craft Grab and Go. And for those of you who are returning, welcome back. And I hope to do a lot of more fun crafts in the new year. So Craft Grab and Go bags are a way to reach our children through the library and do some fun things with them, things that they may not get to do at home or in school or just don't have time for. So I usually do a craft and I videotape it with instructions on how to do it, and you can follow along and then complete the craft. Now, all the materials for the craft are in a small bag, and it's called a Craft Grab and Go bag. And those bags can be picked up at the Frederickson Library. Now, Craft Grab and Go usually happens twice a month. And I don't want to give you the exact dates right now because I don't have them all in my head, but you can go online and under events at Frederickson, and you can see when they are, or you can also go online and look at the newsletter, and that'll tell you the dates that we have the programs. And you can also get a paper copy at the library and check there. So the crafts are designed for younger age children, preschool and maybe even a little bit younger, and then also all the way up through early elementary. Now, of course, they're not limited to those ages. If you have siblings, sometimes it's fun to do it as a family and do it all together. But those are kind of where the crafts are geared toward. And sometimes I do really easy, like paper plate kind of crafts, and sometimes I do harder crafts. So they're kind of interspersed. So you just have to kind of wait and see. I always announce while I'm doing the one craft what the next one will be, or the title of it, so you get an idea. So also there's no registration. So I know a lot of our programs at Frederickson you have to register for. This one you don't. I make a limited amount of supplies, and they go, or bags, and they go very, very quickly. So I suggest you get to the library as soon as possible. Now, this Craft Grab and Go bag will be available on the 11th, January 11th, a Monday. So I would say you come and pick up the craft. You can start to pick it up as early as Saturday the 9th. And I would suggest, if you really want to do it, make sure you have a bag that you get to the library on Saturday. Now, if you're not able to get the craft from the library, you can watch the videotape and just do it on your own and gather the materials either from your house or a friend's house, or, have an adult go to the store with you and go shopping for a few things. Some things that you should always have on hand are scissors, glue, and if you have craft glue, that is a little better because it's a little more sticky and it helps things to stick. But Elmer's glue or just regular school glue is fine. And either crayons or magic markers. Sometimes we will supply them and sometimes we won't. So, but if ever you find that you need something for the craft and you don't have it, please let our library staff know and we can try to accommodate you. We used to supply glue, but now we're not doing that in little cups. But if you need some glue to do your craft and you don't have any at home, please ask somebody at the library and we would be happy to make up a little glue container for you. The videotape is posted to Facebook and also on Frederickson's website page. So you can watch it, at your leisure and do it whenever you want to, in the morning, the afternoon, or the evening. So there's also a little instruction sheet. Well, it's not really an instruction sheet. The instructions are on the videotape, but there's a little sheet that goes in the bag that has the list of supplies and some information about grab and go bags, and also recommended book lists. Again, there may be a lot more books on that particular topic at the library, so come and check them out. And of course, as always, come to the library and check out books. We'd love to see you. I know it's been hard during this whole since March when we've had all this social distancing and staying at home. So, but if you can make it out to the library and wear your mask, we'd love to see you and help you in any way we can. So today, we're going to be doing a craft that I've titled Winter Wardrobe. Now, do you know what a wardrobe is? A wardrobe is sort of like a big closet that you can hang up your clothes in, but also it can mean the clothes that you kind of own. So when I think of winter, I think of some things that we always need to put on our body to stay warm. Can you think of some things, some clothing that we wear? So take a minute and think, maybe tell your adult or a friend there what you like to wear in winter. You know what I like to wear? I love to bundle up in winter. So I love to put on a scarf, and you can see I wear a lot of scarves, but the one that I wear with my winter coat is more woolly and fuzzy. I sometimes wear a hat if it's really cold, and sometimes in my hat, I have several hats. Sometimes they're striped or they're different colors or they have a pom-pom on the top. Or they may have ear flaps. There are just lots and lots of kinds of winter hats that you may wear. So I have a hat, a scarf, and I like to keep my hands warm. So what do you wear to put on your hands to keep them warm? Some people wear gloves, and some people may wear mittens. And I don't know if you know the difference, but gloves are where you fit all your fingers, each go into like a little slot, and it keeps them warm. And mittens, your whole hand goes in, and there's one place for all the 4 fingers here and one place for the thumb. So I prefer mittens. They keep me warmer, but you may like gloves. And so anyways, the other thing that I wear, which this is probably the first thing that I put on, is my winter coat. I have different coats. For fall, it's lighter. For winter, it's more puffy and warm. And then in maybe spring, I have a sweater. And in summer, I don't usually wear a coat at all because it's so hot. And what's the last thing? Okay, my head, my neck, my hands, my top part, and then you may wear a winter pants or slacks if you play in the snow a lot. I don't have those, but I do wear winter boots. Now, boots come in all different sizes and styles. You may have boots, your parents, your mom, or maybe your aunt, or your sister may have boots with some little heel on them. Others do not have any heel, and they might have treads on them. Others may just be flat on the bottom, but boots keep us warm in the winter, and we do need something to keep our feet warm because they are the ones that touch the snow or the slushy, wet ground. And so it's good to have snow boots. Now, when it's raining, there are boots for rain and there's boots for snow and all kinds of different kinds of boots. But we're going to talk about our snow boots. All right. So now I want to tell you a little bit about some fun facts about a winter wardrobe. I went online and I found some interesting little facts. So we'll start with that. So let's start with a hat. We'll start at the top of our head and work down. So do you know that January 15 is National Hat Day? And so that's a good day to put on a hat. Usually January 15th, it's cold, and it's cold enough to wear a hat. That's coming up here soon. We've had a lot of warm weather this winter, so maybe you won't need a hat, but keep that in mind, January 15. And it's important to wear a hat because we lose a lot of our body heat from our head, over 20%, and that's a lot. So if you put a hat on and you cover your ears a little bit, that works and it keeps you warm. All right, the next thing, what's the next thing after our hat? We have a scarf. Okay, and I'm wearing a scarf right now, but this one is not, it's more for decoration, but it does keep me warm a little bit, but it's not a nice woolly one. Now, scarves are worn for a lot of different reasons. one for warmth, which we're talking about in the winter to keep our neck warm. Sometimes they're used as sort of a decoration or an accessory, which I'm wearing, just sort of gives a little lift to whatever I'm wearing, jazzes it up. Also, maybe some people wear scarf for religious reasons. So, and in ancient Rome, some of the men would wear scarves for cleanliness if they fought or they were out working and they just worked up a big sweat and they were hot. They would use the scarf that they either sort of attached to their belt or hung over their shoulders, and they would keep themselves clean that way. So I'm glad we don't have to do that, and I'm glad we can take baths now and do things like that. But that is what happened. And do you know, I found out that there's a thing called the 360 knitting clock, and it's a machine. It was made by an artist in 2010, and it knits 24 hours, 7 days a week, and it doesn't stop. And after 1 year, or exactly 365 days, the clock has knitted a scarf measuring approximately 2 meters in length, and that's about 6 feet and a little bit more, 6.5 feet, which is long. All right, that's a really long scarf. If you wore that around your neck, you'd have to wrap it around a lot of times, or you'd be tripping over it. And so I thought that was kind of cool. And many of you, maybe adults in your family, knit, and they make mittens and scarves. And maybe one day you'll learn how to knit. I hope maybe someday we can do a program on knitting at the library when we get back and we're not all doing virtual stuff. So anyways, that's kind of cool about scarves. Now the next thing, well, I actually skipped one. How about, well, no, not really. I was on scarves. So now we need to cover our upper body with our coat. Now, as you know, coats can be long and it can be short. They can be all different sizes and lengths, but coats keep us warm. All right, do you know that coats, the Eskimo women, they're called the Inuit, they use the insides, the intestines of seals and whales, and also caribou, which are like reindeer, to create insulated and waterproof coats. Insulated are warm coats, because just like I said, they're warm coats and warmer coats and warmest coats. And also to make them water resistant. So if you get water on them, the water doesn't sink in and your whole coat is wet and you're freezing. And then once they did that, they would actually cover the coats with fish oil, which is very water resistant. And so that protected them, especially up there where it's really, really cold and they're wearing their coat all the time, almost all the time. They also, some women sewed drawstring hoods to the parka. So they had a little hood on the back, and then they would sew a little pouch below the hood, and that's where they would carry their little baby inside on their back. Or sometimes they had pouches in the front so they could keep their little baby warm. I thought that was pretty interesting. You know, we have snowsuits for our little babies and different things, but it's important to keep a little baby warm. We don't want them freezing. We don't want anybody freezing for that matter. So anyways, that is a short little history of fun facts on mittens, hats, scarves, boots, and coats. So let me move on. Now, if you know Miss Kay, you know that she always has jokes at every program, because I think jokes are just fun. I love telling them and I love hearing them. So if you have a good joke, please come by the library and tell me. I love to hear jokes. So here are my winter jokes. All right, let's start. Why did the jalapeno pepper wear a tiny jacket? Now, a jalapeno pepper is a really, really type of hot pepper. So if you eat it, your mouth just kind of burns. You may have not ever had one, but maybe some of your adults have. And it can be really, really hot, but it tastes really good in food. Okay, and it's used as a spice. But why did he wear a tiny jacket? Because he was just a little chilly. All right. And now another one. Which kids wear the biggest snow boots? The ones with the biggest feet. That's a pretty easy answer, but a little bit tricky. All right, how about this one? What happened to the cat who swallowed a ball of yarn? It had mittens instead of kittens. Okay, and maybe just one more. Why did the boy only wear one snow boot? I can't imagine why you'd only wear one. Because there was only a 50% chance of snow. So he figured he'd only need to cover 1 foot. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed those jokes, and if you think of any more, tell your adult or write them down or bring them into the library. And we'll have a few jokes at the end. So let's get started. Now, I want to show you, just a moment here, the things that we're going to be making. And I'm sorry, it's sometimes hard to see me and hard to see the table, but I like you to see the table more than anything so you know what we're doing. So, like I said, when I think of winter wardrobe, I think of those things that we put on to go outside and have fun and play in the snow. So, I created those. And we're going to make, now also, we're going to make a little clothesline of a winter wardrobe. Now, you know, your mom or an adult in your dad, or maybe, you know, whoever you live with, and is an adult in the family, or maybe you've had to hang up your wet clothes on like a drying rack or a laundry line to dry them out, right? When you come in from the snow and you're playing. So we're going to create our own little laundry line and hang up our different winter wardrobe pieces. So we're going to start here. Here are our boots. All right, so now, of course, not like the boy who only put on one boot because there was 50% chance of snow. We need two, one for the left and one for the right foot. Now show your adult which is your right and your left if you know them. Okay, now boots, winter boots can come in all different sizes and shapes and colors, and now they make them so pretty and all different kinds of cool designs that I really like them. And I also wanted to tell you something really cool about boots. Do you know that snow boots usually are waterproof or water resistant, but winter boots are not considered so? And that's not always true everywhere, but that's kind of common. And snow boots are often made of easy to clean materials, not often, not always, but usually often. And snow boots are usually insulated, which means they have some kind of little fur. It's either fake fur or real fur on the inside to keep your little toesies warm. So here are our boots. All right, then we have maybe the next thing. Now we're starting from the bottom. Is we need our mittens. Can you see them? All right, our mittens. One for the left hand and one for the right hand. Again, show your left and right hand. Some of you may already know this if you're older. All right, then we have a scarf. Here's our scarf. All right, with a little opening for our head to put in. And a scarf usually has a long tails that we can wrap around to keep our neck warm. Then we have our coat. Our coat keeps us warm, and it may be a big puffer coat like this, or it may be kind of a flat coat, or it may be like a wool coat. So there are lots of different coats. But these are nice because you can play in the snow and they're sort of slippery. All right. And last but not least, what's the last thing we need to put on our winter wardrobe is our hat to keep us warm. So here are the pieces for making our winter wardrobe, and then we're going to add little decorations to them. Embellishments is a big word. All right, so we're going to embellish them so they look really nice. All right, so that's it. And then here are the things. So in your craft grab and go bag, you have these pieces that are cut out, sort of cut out. Then I also gave you some cotton balls, I think 7 to be exact, and one fluffy ball with little spiky hairs. It's kind of cool. I thought it was a cool looking ball. And then we have some little glitter. You know Miss K just loves anything that sparkles or glitters, so that's to decorate. And then we have little sequins to decorate. All right, now this is a bigger bag with lots of sequins. You didn't get this many sequins, but you have some. And how do we hang up clothes on a laundry line? We hang them up with clothespins. In our closet, we hang them up with coat hangers, but on a clothesline, we hang them up with clothespins. Now, I don't know if you can see, I have a little mini clothespin. So that's what we're going to be using. And I think I may have put an extra one in your bag because sometimes they break. So be real careful with them. We used these for another craft when we made owls, but don't press real hard on them. Open them up nice and gently. Maybe use 2 hands. You can attach them. And then we're going to have to attach them to a little laundry line, which is our little piece of twine, so we can hang it up. Now, once we put them all on and we make little loops at the end to hang them, you can hang them anywhere in your house. If you have 2 hooks, you could hang them between the hooks like a swing that you would hang, or a hammock and you would hang between 2 trees in the summer. Or if you don't have that, you can also take go ahead and put, after we finish, you'll see all your things on the laundry line. And then you can take a magnet. I have a black little magnet. You can buy these at like the dollar store. And you can attach it to your refrigerator. And that's a nice place to do it. But you can use your creativity and imagination. As I always say, kids have the best imagination. So I'm sure you'll find a place to do it. So let's get started. A good idea when we do these crafts also is to have some kind of piece of paper or paper towel, because when we're using glue, we usually get our hands a little bit, we usually get our hands a little bit messy. And so we don't want that to affect what we're doing. Or affect the table. All right, so let's get started. So what I did, I didn't cut out each of these pieces. I had my whole little winter wardrobe at work, and I forgot to bring it home right before I did this video. So I am going to just cut around. Now, for those of you who are younger, it's a good idea to have an adult with you to help you, because sometimes we're using things that need an adult's help. Or maybe they need to help you cut things out. Maybe you can do other things on your own. So I'm going to start at the top, and here's my hat. And I'm going to just, for those of you who don't want to cut it out on the line, I am just going to cut a circle around it. Okay. Okay, here's my circle. That way I don't have to cut all these loops and edges that aren't straight, and that makes it a little more difficult. So there's my hat. I'm going to put my hat down here. Okay, then the next thing I need is my winter coat. Again, I'm going to cut a circle around this real close to the edge. And I wonder how many of you may have an orange coat. That's a really good color, so people can see you at night. All right. Okay, there's my orange coat. Now the next thing is my scarf. All right, which keeps my neck warm. Now I know this is kind of looks funny the way it's cut out. It just had to be. But I'm going to just cut real close to the edge. And again, if you're cutting it out more than just sort of as I'm doing, but you're cutting along the lines, you can either keep the black on or cut the black off. Some people like it with the black, and some people don't. It's your choice. Okay, there's my scarf. All right. Now my mittens are already cut out, so I don't really need to do anything to them. And my boots, my left and my right boot. I need 2 boots, otherwise my feet are going to not be happy. Or my one foot is not going to be happy, the one that's cold. All right. And you may have a special place in your house where you put your boots after you come in from the cold. Because often boots have a lot of snow on them. They may even have some mud on them or some dirt, depending on what you did out in the snow. So you don't necessarily want to track that all through the house. So you may have a special place. And you probably have a special place where you hang up your coat, maybe a coat rack, maybe some pegs, and that kind of thing. Maybe a basket where you put your scarf. All right. Okay, now I have my 2 boots. Okay, and now I have all my things cut out. Now I'm going to get my glue because I'm going to start gluing. This one is a clear glue, Elmer's clear glue. All right. And let me think. I got to think what I need to glue on. So we start with our boots. And I like to, because our feet are in the snow when we go out to play or walk in the snow, sometimes our boots get full of snow. Usually not on the inside, we hope, but on the outside. So I'm going to put a little bit of snow or a little bit of fuzz. This could also be snow, or it could also be the lining in your boot. Sometimes it shows on the outside. So I'm going to take a cotton ball and I'm going to cut it in half. Okay? Actually, I'm going to take 2 cotton balls and cut them in half. I don't know if you can see. Here are 2 halves. 1 and 2. Okay, and you may need some kind of sharp scissors for this, so maybe this is where you need an adult to help you. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it right on the boot like this. And so it's going to be like 2 little fuzzy pom-pom balls on my boot. Sort of makes it decorative. So I'm going to put some glue down here. And again, if you're new to this, you don't want to put too much glue on because sometimes then it drips all over everything, but you want just enough. See, now I have 2 little round fuzz balls on my boots. And I think that looks cute. Okay, and now we're going to do the same for the other boot. And again, you may have to sort of push it in a little bit. The balls kind of puff up. But there we have our little snow boots. So we're going to put these aside right here. Okay, and the next thing, we have our mittens. All right, and our mittens. Now, what kid doesn't love to make snowballs and throw them? Okay, I don't particularly like when somebody throws a snowball at me, but I love to throw them. All right, so we're going to make our mittens and we're going to put a little snowball right in the middle. So get 1 mitten and you're going to put a little blob of glue right in the middle, and this is going to be our snowball right in the middle like that. Okay, and now you're going to make the other mitten so they match. They're both thumbs are pointed at each other, and you're going to do the same thing. Okay, there we go. Now we've got our snowball on our mittens. Now what I also did is I wanted to make my mittens a little more jazzy, okay? And so let me just get a magic marker. I forgot. Okay, if you have a magic marker or a crayon or anything like that, you can use it. And I just made, you know how mittens sometimes have ribbing? You can see my sweater has ribbing. These are lines here. I just drew some ribbing on here. I'm going to do it like this. Okay, this is what my ribbing looks like. A little bit of ribbing. Okay, and again, keep the ones with their thumbs pointing at each other. Okay, there we go, and there we go. Okay, and now I have these little sparkle things, and I just peel them off, and I'm going to put them right above on my mitten, so it gives a little sparkle. And sometimes they don't all come off in a row. You may have to put them on individually. It just depends. So here, these happen to come off in a row, and I just put them right on top. There we go, sparkling nice. And we're going to do the other one. Whoops, now see, these are coming off one by one, so it's a little trickier. Maybe I can get the rest of these off without, oh, wouldn't you know, he's not being cooperative, this little sparkle. How many of you like sparkles? Do you like things that glitter? I do. Okay, there we go. Now I have my two mittens with little sparkles on them. Okay, I can put them down here. Now the other thing that has something on it is my hat. All right, my hat, I like to put my fuzzy ball at the top on it. All right, it kind of feels cool. It has like little shimmery, what do you call them? Threads on top. So I'm going to get my glue, and I'm going to put some glue on the top of the hat, the pom-pom. Again, you can leave this off. If you don't want to put any of these on, you want to put something else on, go for it. Yeah. I love it when you guys use your own imaginations. So here, I'm going to put this on and press it down real hard so it sticks. All right, and then what I thought to jazz it up even more is I just put, again, like sort of to match the boots, the white cotton balls. So I'm going to just put them 1, 2, and 3. I think I gave you 3 to put there. And there you might use a good amount of glue so they stick. 3 seems to fit just right and nice in there. And there we go. I have my hat. All right, now I have my hat. Now let's see, what else do we need? My coat. Okay, I don't really add anything. Again, you can add sequins, you can color it in, you can add buttons here. That I just thought there's probably a zipper underneath there. So any way you want to do it. But for right now, we're just going to leave him plain. And last but not least is our scarf. All right, and what I did with the scarf is I gave you some sequins there in your bag. And I have a bigger bag here that I'm just going to get a couple of pieces of sequins. All right, and I'm going to glue them on just all over. You can put a whole bunch of sequins. You can put, just a few sequins. You can use a magic marker or crayon to draw stripes on here, or flowers, or you can just leave it plain, whatever you like. But I'm going to put on little sequins here, and I'm just kind of putting them glue. And if you have glue dots at home, that'll work too. That's even easier. But I just thought we'd use the glue here. So here I'm putting them on, 1, 2, and I'll show you. See, I'm putting on the sequins, and I'm just using different colors so it looks nice. Boy, do they stick like crazy to my fingers. So I have to kind of do it slow. And again, I might use different colors to make it really sparkle. These guys just want to stick so much to my fingers. Okay. How many of you own a scarf at home or have a scarf? Maybe you have a favorite scarf that you take everywhere, or maybe you don't even wear a scarf. Some people don't like anything around their neck, and I understand that. It's okay too. So just like we're all different, we like the way things feel on us differently, or don't like the way certain things on us feel. Just like one person likes spaghetti and the other person doesn't. So how do you make sense of that? You don't. You just accept it. Okay. Now, let me put this last one on. Okay. Now, whoa. Here you go. Now I'm put a lot of little sparkly sequins on. And you can just sort of tap them down with your finger. Not too much because they'll start to slip around. But there we have our sparkly scarf. So now we have all our things to make our clothesline. Now we have our clothesline. So I'm holding it on either end. So what I think I'm going to do first is just put these on. So I grab my little clothespins and I'm going to just attach these things. And you can attach them in any order. I had thought maybe the ones with the pom-poms could go in the middle, and then the scarf and the jacket at the end. But however you want to do it is fine. Now, some of you who have really small hands, this may be easy for you, but it wasn't as easy as I thought for me because my hands are bigger and it takes a little bit more to put them on here. But I'm putting them on, and I'll show it to you after I get them on because it's hard to hold it up right now. So you're just attaching them onto your clothesline. And the hat may need 2 clothespins. So and I don't ever go anywhere without my mittens in the winter. I love mittens because my hands can get cold, and I just love the way they feel so warm and cozy on me. Okay, and last but not least, now you might want to let your scarf dry a little bit before you attach it on. That's up to you. Mine seems to be pretty okay, but if I rubbed my fingers over all these sequins, they would probably fall off. Okay, now I'm going to switch this around, and I'm going to show you. Here is my little winter wardrobe. And I probably could move that boot over just a little bit so you have a little bit of space. But you get the idea. Okay, and now in order to hang it up, I'm going to make a little loop at the end. And this is where you might need an adult to help you. So there's an old saying, left over right and right over left. Left over right and right over left. And you know what? I'm not going to try this right now, but you're going to make, because it may take a little while and I don't want it to go on and on with the video, but you make a little loop and tie a little loop, and you can ask an adult to help you with that. Or you don't even have, if you want to hang it on like 2 nails or somewhere, you need the little loop. But if you just want to put it on your refrigerator, you don't really need a loop with a magnet. So you're going to take this and you're just going to put the magnet right up against there, and it should hold on the refrigerator. Okay, so that is our winter wardrobe. And this is a good reminder for you, you know, if you're headed out in the snow to play, the things that are important to put on to keep you warm. So when you come in, you're not so cold. Even though you may be wet, you're not freezing. All right, I'm going to put this down. And as you know, I have a couple of jokes at the end that I want to tell you. Okay, let's see. What do snowmen wear on their heads? Ice caps. Okay, and the tops of mountains are often, when there's snow on them, we say the mountain has an ice cap. All right, let's see. Do you know it takes 3 sheep? Did you know that it takes 3 sheep to make 1 wool sweater, said one friend to the other. The other friend said, "Oh, that's fantastic. I didn't even know sheep could knit." All right. And let's see. How about one more? Why do bears have a fur coat? Because they would look silly in a sweater. Have you ever seen a bear in a sweater? Although teddy bears look adorable in sweaters. But a real bear, I've never quite seen a real bear in a sweater. They have all that fur that keeps them warm. I don't think they need anything more to keep them warm. All right. Now remember always to put the top back on your glue and twist it so it doesn't spill all out. All right, and if you have any questions about doing this, you can stop by the library and ask one of us. So I hope you enjoyed my winter wardrobe craft grab and go. The first one in January 2021. Now our next one will be a snowman. And we'll be doing a cute little snowman, a picture of a snowman using some fun materials. Now I have just the one thing I want to end with. I have a little poem about a winter wardrobe that I'd like to read to you. So it goes like this. Winter snow falls outside my window all day. I just can't wait to run outside and be with my friends to play. I need my winter wardrobe, which fits me oh so fine. It keeps me warm and dry and comfortable almost all the time. A warm winter coat to cover my arms and my chest. I slip it on quickly. It hugs me like a warm, tight vest. My woolly striped hat covers my ears and my head. I can make snow angels, throw snowballs, or slide on my sled. My mittens or gloves keep my fingers and hands nice and warm, keeping me cozy and dry in every kind of winter storm. My snow boots are easy to buckle. They feel so snug and tight, or snug and right. The fur lining inside them keeps my toes toasty and tight. My scarf keeps the chill off my shoulders and neck. I wrap it around, tuck it in, and then double check. Have I bundled up safely with all the right stuff? Coat, hat, mittens, boots, and scarf. I think that's enough. I am ready to go out. I'm ready to go out and join my friends for the day, to have fun in the snow, stay warm, and play, play, and play. Hooray for today, hooray for today. That was a fun poem. I wrote that poem and I had a lot of fun writing it. So I hope you enjoy it, and maybe you can write a poem about winter or your winter clothes, or maybe just about your coat or your boots. But I wish you the very best winter 2021. I hope we get some more snow and you can go out and play and maybe do some fun things, snow angels or sled or take a walk, whatever. So anyways, it's been great, boys and girls, to be with you, and I will join you again in January for making a snowman. See you then. Bye-bye. Take care.